Honey Beauty is the company, 100% all organic, no cancer-causing chemicals, no fake ingredients, no fillers. Everything is all natural, period. Most people think that oil is moisturizer, but no, oil is just oil. Trust me, we know, being black folk. Water is actually the real moisturizer. We all know that, and that's why it doesn't lock into the skin or the hair. And that's why Honey Beauty created their signature Moroccan rose water, pure hydration for your hair. Then you seal it all in with their 13-in-1 hair growth accelerator. Y'all see how fast my hair be growing? To lock in that moisture from the root to the tip, okay? And just because I got short hair doesn't mean I don't want my hair slipping and sliding as it's doing right now in this video. So if you're ready for real ingredients on your hair, please check out honeybeauty.com to see what everyone's talking about, including me, and that's why I'm talking about it.
Medical debt is the #1 reason Americans file for bankruptcy, and soon they're going to be reporting on your credit. And usually the medical debt is not your fault. If medical bills are overwhelming you, bankruptcy can stop the collection calls and get rid of the medical debt and allow you to focus on healing instead of worrying about being sued over medical debt. I'm Chad Van Horn, and if you're buried in medical debt, give me a call today and let's find a way out.
Odorless, chemical-free lubricants, okay? If you're a creamy person and you like cream and stuff like that, they have creamy, odorless, like tasteless lubricants and things like that. And then they have the clear, slick and silky and things like that. And I know a lot of women, I don't need that, I don't need that. Y'all need to stop lying. Stop the cap, stop the cap. Man is always ready. If it get hard, it's ready. But for us, we got children, we got life and stuff like that, and we don't just walk around with just wet coochies all day. And if we did that, we would have yeast infections all the time. We have to keep them dry. So when your man is ready, or your woman, or if you're man on man and your other man is not ready, this is easy, officially pleasure, we'll get it ready. 30 seconds. Odorless, tasteless, hyperallergenic, all the above. And I'm allergic to everything. Sydney.
Yeah.
You know we took your story on tour, right?
For real?
Yes. We did a 40-city tour. And when we pulled, especially like in New York, but I took it everywhere because it was such an explosive story that, you know, the judge, hearing about a judge, you having interactions with a judge that's like presiding over your case and she's soliciting threesomes. Man, that content was hilarious. When I tell you, I could see you the Baltimore show. They fell the fuck out. The way I dragged that judge. Oh yeah, I took it on it just worked so well. I took it to every city because normally I'll change up some of the content, but that one, because it was so funny, like I just left it.
Got you. I never saw it. Maybe I'll get a chance to look at it after this.
Jasmine, what we're gonna do is I have some of the clips. Well, I have, you know, some of the pre-recorded shows from the tour. We're gonna take that piece out of me dragging the fuck out that judge. I dragged her so bad. And the Baltimore show. Yeah, no problem. No problem. I'm a little shocked that we have you here because I'm like, what's going on? What happened?
Where would you like me to start?
First of all, I want you to start from the beginning, okay? So are you from New York?
Originally, yes.
Okay. So your story, I feel like it should have got more press than it did, you know, because it was ridiculous. So you're in court. This is a paternity case, right? Between you and...
This is actually an ACS custody case. So I should bring it back to the very beginning. Please. The beginning actually stems from an affair that my daughter's father had before this case even started, which plays a big part in this. Just walk with me. I'm gonna make a long story short and a short story a midget. So me and my daughter's father, we got together around 2019-ish. Prior to that, I was in a homeless shelter out in Queens. At that time, I was pregnant. I decided to terminate the pregnancy because obviously that wasn't the right time to have a child. My finances were low and I didn't have no friends and no family support. And I already had an older daughter that was staying with her father. Fast forward, after I had the termination, I made friends with a girl named Jada. She was really cool. She was dating a guy. We're going to call him DV. DV is not short for domestic violence. That's just his nickname. So them two were dating, cool. Fast forward into 2019, I'm in a relationship with my daughter's father. He's cheating severely, and someone that he's talking to is like, she's posting all over his Facebook. Okay, so I'm pregnant at the time, and I take it upon myself to scroll down her page, and she's married. Lo and behold, her husband is DV, the guy from the shelter that was dealing with my homegirl Jada back in like 2017.
This
So to
is
make
messy.
connection with him was kind of like easy because we already kind of like knew each other.
Okay.
And to deepen why he was having an affair at that time, he was indeed, I guess, engaged, married to the girl that was cheating with my baby father, and she was cheating back then. And so that's how he got in contact with Jada and started the cheating back cycle, whatever, whatever. The cheating never stopped, and it trickled down to my baby father. Now, when me and him get in contact with each other, I'm still pregnant, so I obviously I can't cheat back or nothing like that. So once I gave birth to my daughter, December 2019, January rolled around. I kicked my daughter's father out the house and moved her husband in. And I guess you can't call it an affair because we left our partners and decided to like go with each other. That relationship didn't work out, but in terms of building character, confidence, and stuff like that, he did help play a big part in me rebuilding myself from that relationship. I'm not too sure on the basis of their relationship if they ever got back together or whatever. But fast forward down into the SWAT team kicking in my door. I'm cooking breakfast one morning. It's 2022. I think it's maybe July or something like that. I can't really remember the exact month. And I'm actually live streaming on one phone and on FaceTime with my best friend at the time on another phone. And the SWAT team is trying to get into my door. I don't know what's the cause of it initially, but just thank God that I'm recording. Now, throughout that whole chaos, they ended up getting the door off the hinges. They arrested me. They beat up my daughter's father because at that time he did spend the night to come and see his kid or whatever. They beat up my daughter's father. My kids were in a frenzy. They took everybody, my mom and my two kids, to the hospital. And when we got to the hospital, the cops were trying to tell I guess the hospital that it was a psych problem, that everybody was bugging out. And I told the people at the hospital, no, I was actually live streaming and my Facebook is public. And if you look at my page, they were just tearing down my door. And I told them that there were kids in there. Y'all need to stop. Don't throw anything in my house. No smoke bombs, shit like that. The nurse and the doctor left. And I believe they did look at my Facebook, came back and told the NYPD, we're not locking her up. You have to detain her and do whatever you're going to do with her and her daughter's father. But from what we see on our end, we don't have no reason to keep her. So once I went through the bookings and everything, I had a public defender. And they told me basically once I got in front of the judge, the case was going to be closed. I was going to be able to go home. I really didn't believe that because the SWAT team was just at my door kicking shit in, and it was a whole frenzy. Once I got in front of the judge, she dismissed my case and sent me home. My public defender advised me to get an attorney and said that this was a case and we could go on to sue if I had the proper representation. My main focus at that point was not really to sue, but to get my kids back, because in New York City, as soon as you have any type of police contact and there's kids involved, you automatically get an ACS case. But I'm anticipating that to be open and closed as well. Okay, so everybody comes home. Now I got an ACS case, an ACS worker, head down to the building. As fate would have it, because I never did my research on this woman, walking in, my supervisor was DV's wife. So my paperwork began to get shuffled around, a whole bunch of extra additive shit put on because of the conflict that me and her had a couple years prior, from her sleeping with my daughter's father and then me eventually taking her husband, which shouldn't have trickled down into work. And now this became a matter of my word against hers. So how do you fight that? And then she's in such a position of power. She's a supervisor. This goes on. The case is brought in front of Judge Cynthia Lopez, where my first interaction with her was not pleasant because of how my kids were placed into custody. I was expecting, like I said, for this to be an open and closed case. The SWAT team came to my door, falsely arrested me. I was let go. The charges were dropped. I was let to go home. Why am I standing here fighting you for custody of my children? She didn't like my approach. She said this had to be something that we had a trial about. Basically told me that it wasn't open and closed. I had to basically fight for my kids back. I had to prove that I was fit as a parent to have custody of my kids. And at that moment, I couldn't hold it. I just said, bitch, are you crazy? Are you fucking illiterate? Did you not just read the paperwork that's in front of you? That the SWAT team came to my motherfucking house and kicked in the wrong door and then let me go. And then now you're telling me to fight you in the state for my motherfucking kids back? Run that back. And Miss Thing wasn't having it. She immediately ordered, because this was virtual at the time, she ordered for me to be brought in and for us to have the next court dates like face to face. And I stood on what I said about me feeling like you're illiterate. You can't possibly be reading the same shit that I'm reading, and you're telling me to fight you for my kids. And then it became a play on mental health. For me to talk to her like that, I had to be deemed, I guess, crazy or psychotic because of her level or where she's at in life. And my whole thing is, bitch, you bleed just like me. And you're playing with my fucking kids, my livelihood. I'm not about to go back and forth with you. I'm not sparing you. That's how I felt, and that's what came out. I was apologetic eventually when I, seen that she wasn't buckling down, and she was like, fuck that. That's how you feel. This how we're going with it. And after, I think, the third or fourth court date, she started calling me from private numbers. Again, this is a power struggle that I'm not equipped for. It's somebody's word against mine that's in a higher authority, and she's not doing it from a work phone.
Who called you from a private number?
Judge Cynthia Lopez.
That's ex parte communications.
Never knew. I became prone to these things as the case was going on. But while she was doing it, I just knew, what could I say? She's calling me. She's saying nasty shit. Who's the stupid bitch now? You're going to apologize. Just a whole bunch of stuff. And it would always be from a block number. So the contact wasn't from like her work phone or a number that I could give them to make a report about. As the case went on, she had me doing unreasonable shit that this case had nothing to do with. It wasn't a matter of if I was an unfit parent or my kids was untaken care of or there was no food in the house, they were not properly clothed. This was a matter of the SWAT team and NYPD kicking in my door, and now I have to fight you for my kids back. So the stuff that she was having me do was
were
just
your kids in
unreasonable.
custody? Were your kids in the state custody?
At that time, yes.
Oh, hell.
She had them moved. At first, they started off in my sister's house, and then she had them move to a non-kinship, which is foster care that's not with the family. So as the case went on, these were some of the things that she just was taking and abusing in her power with doing. So aside from the calls, my kids were moved from my family's house to stranger foster care, which that ended up biting me in the ass because this woman was foes with my mother. History, I'll get into that. So we're back and forth in court. She's demanding that I do anger management. She wants me to do parenting. She wants me to get mental health evaluations. I knocked them out. I did anger management probably about like 5 times. I did anger management for, parenting classes for regular kids and for kids that has disabilities or whatever, just because I don't know how fucked up my kids might be in the system, and when they come back, I might need those. So I volunteered for that. Mm-hmm. I volunteered for counseling myself. Like, so everything that I was doing and acing out, she just would not take as acceptable. What I learned was that she wanted my psychiatrist or these people that were doing these evaluations to deem me as crazy, to make me unfit to get my kids back. But nobody that looked at the case or saw that my kids were taken because the SWAT team kicked in my fucking door, and my actions about that was unfit. Nobody saw that to be to be crazy or unreasonable. If anything, a lot of people agreed that it was an abuse of power at this point. Me and you had a discrepancy. I did lash out. I ultimately did apologize. And now you're just ongoing because you have the power to do so. Okay. So now at this time, I was doing a lot of tarot readings. I was doing spiritual cleansings, and I had a few ACS workers on my case. And one in particular, you know, she was getting a lot of work from me, was recommending that I start doing some on the judge. She was like, if this person hates you so much, I'm pretty sure that you can transmute that energy into love. There's no way that that energy is just backed up by so much hatred. There has to be some underlying, you know, feelings about that. And I was skeptical at first, but it did make a lot of sense. You can't hate somebody without having some type of love for them. So I put her theory to the test, and I started burning love candles. Whenever I would go to court, I would douse myself and do love baths, spray the come to me's and stuff like that. And her demeanor did switch up slightly, but not a lot. The contact was sexual though, that she started displaying outside of court. Um, I signed up for an app, and it's called Threesome. I'm heavy on threesome, swinging and stuff like that, but that's my outside life. That has nothing to do
All
with,
right,
you
Candy.
know, me
All
going
right,
into court.
Candy Burris. All right.
It's just something that me and my ex got into.
Okay.
So I'm on the app, and initially it wasn't for me. I wasn't seeing anybody that I was interested in, no couples that I was looking to join with that come join me and my husband at the time. So I deleted it, move forward. And my mom began having a lot of health issues. So I was like focusing on that, dealing with her with the hospice care and everything like that.
Okay.
I want to say around January 2023, or I don't know, maybe it was 2024. So much shit has happened in my life where I get the dates confused. I re-downloaded the app, and she's sitting in the messages. Now the thing about Three Fun at the time now, because I don't know, they banned me. I'm assuming it's because of this situation. But prior to me getting banned, how the app would work is if two people would have to mutually like each other before you could send a message. And if the two people didn't mutually like each other's pictures already, like say I would have to come across your profile previously and you came across mine and we liked each other's pictures, we would freely be able to communicate. Now, if you like my profile and I did not like your profile, you would have to pay. It's a feature where you, I guess maybe like $10 or $15 to send that person a message or whatever, just because they didn't mutually connect with you. I deleted the app. I never mutually connected with anyone. So all of the messages that I had were obviously paid for. She was sitting at the top, priority message with a verified profile. I I have a very distinct look about me. If you see my pictures, if I came to you, if we met each other for a year and we've been seeing, you obviously would know my face. So that's the same as with my pictures. I don't use filters. I'm not a catfish. What you see is kind of like what you get. And that was the profile that I made on Three Fun. She immediately knew who I was. She sent me the message and she paid to send the message. So my response is like, bitch, what the fuck are you here for? I gotta see you in court next week. She told me to look at her profile. I then look at the
Okay.
profile. The profile entails that her and her man is looking for someone to join them in a threesome. And, you know, they're into whatever BBWs, just have to be clean. They're very, you know, strict. They're very into privacy. I can't really remember off the top of my head what the profile
What
entailed,
the
but she
in
told me
the
to
holy fuck?
look over that because that's what she was in my inbox for. And my response is, I'm not licking your pussy. I have to see you in court in like 2 or 3 days. And you always acting like you don't fuck with me. You make things so difficult for me. You actually can't stand me when I go up in there. You call me outside of court with the bullshit, and now you're in my messages on some lick your pussy freak shit. Excuse my language. It's not never happening. And when I let her, I strongly enforced that that shit was not never happening. Something told me because on this app, it doesn't allow screenshots. Like the pictures that you take will like turn white. I have multiple phones. So something just told me, let me start taking pictures of this conversation. So she blocks me and I had no longer have access to the conversation. Now, 3 days later, so no, we had to have court in like a week because 3 days later, I get a message from my attorney telling me that the judge made a report about me having inappropriate contact with her outside of court. She's fearful for her life. I may have to turn myself in. I'm like, what inappropriate? What threats. What are you talking about? Like, that never occurred. What are you talking about? So he sent me over the email that she sent out to the district attorneys and everybody that was on the case. My response was all of the inboxes that was from 3Fun. I'm like, you talking about this inappropriate contact with her inboxing me, with her telling me to look at her profile, and that's what she wants me to come to her house and do? What the fuck did I do wrong? Besides say no. My paid attorney told me to delete it because he doesn't want a scandal. I said, you're jeopardizing my freedom. You want me to delete the only proof that I have because it's my word against her that she's being inappropriate with me on more
And she
than
got your
one level.
kids in the fucking foster system.
Exactly.
Girl, you gotta expose it. Who's the
Exactly.
fucking lawyer? Like, everybody
Exactly.
don't need to go to law school. They so
After
fucking
he done took
scary these days. I'm
$8,500 of my
sorry.
motherfucking dollars, okay, gonna tell me some shit like that. So I can't trust you. My next thing is I don't have a big platform. I don't have a big following at the time. Something told me if it was anything that was gonna get some reach, it would probably be Twitter or X. I think that's what they call it. I make a profile from my email and I throw the post out there. I throw the screenshots up there with all of my proof and I tag anybody that I think would listen. The New York Post, any reporter, just
And the New York
anybody.
Post picked it up. That's where I got it from. And took
Yes.
that. Me and Miss Judge Lopez went on tour together. Yes,
And
ma'am.
with that is where I'm not gonna lie, because like I said, before the whole sexual thing came into play, there were so many underhanded, underlying factors that were playing in with her, taking away the evidence from my case, making me do anger management repetitively, trying to play on my mental, making me seem like I'm crazy because I cursed you out because you want my kids in foster care. Like just a whole bunch of shit like that. Or
Isn't this
like,
what like traffickers do? They isolate, separate, and try to take advantage of people.
yes. And
What
that's what it
human
felt like she was
traffickers
doing to
do.
me. And what the New York Post did was open up an opportunity because I actually wrote to the administrative, I forget what is it called? Those people that deal with the judges and stuff like that when there's an issue with your case and stuff. And those very same people wrote me back and told me that there was nothing that they could do. There were issues that my kids were going through as far as abuse with the foster parents and stuff like that.
Oh my God, sis.
Nobody would intercept. Nobody would do anything. I wrote to these people on hundreds of accounts. When this woman messaged me and it became a sexual spectacle now, the same people that turned me away and didn't want anything to do with my case, didn't have enough evidence to have her taken off of my case for basically fucking with my case and jeopardizing my kid's safety, were the same ones that called me in, wanted to have a meeting with me and my attorney, wanted me not to talk about what was going on behind the scenes, wanted
Because
to
they
then
probably all
investigate.
into it.
Listen, wanted to then investigate on the judge and see if she was actually really derailing my case and removing evidence if my kids were really in harm's way. But when I was writing these people before, this whole shit came about and I was, advocating and sending emails, there was nothing that wanted to be done. Nothing, nobody wanted to hear shit from me. It took for her to get in trouble from this whole shit, for something to come from it. And then for other light to be shed, because a lot of other parents started reaching out to me and letting me know that she was on their case and how they never got custody of their kids back and how she was nasty towards them, and how like their kids are still in the system, and very similar cases to mine before it turned into something sexual, how she was just hiding paperwork and making it difficult for me to get my kids. A lot of people started coming forward and having a similar story. So I was just like, damn, this person has been in a position of power and been doing this shit for a long time. She's been abusing her power for as long as she fucking could. And the outcome of the meeting, I was told that she was going to be recused. They ended up putting her over the juveniles. So
I
she's not
saw
even
that.
dealing with the parents anymore. She's dealing directly with the children and where they're going. So, yeah.
This is the like, I wish that I probably would have contacted you then, but I don't think they exposed who you were. They only exposed the judge. I didn't see that written in the articles or anything like that, like who the actual woman was that had to deal with a judge that was trying to solicit, sexual encounters.
There were very few articles or whatever, even in my personal life with that. When I'm, like I said, dealing with these people at the courts, they're more so focused on her and the action on the app. When I try to bring up, like, she has an ego issue. She has a problem, dealing with parents, predominantly of color, because a lot of the parents that reached out to me and said that they had an issue with her or dealt with her with their kids being in foster care or never got custody of their kids back, all look like me.
The whole time she's trying to fuck you.
Tyler Perry does this thing with movies. When BET was flourishing, it was the videos and the stuff.
A lot of culture.
It was the stuff that was reflective directly of the culture. Once they pulled back on that and just watered it down and then look, it just devalued. When I had the source, hip hop was right. The problem is when this youth movement of this generation, when we gave them the reins, when people started following them, program directors, the labels, and just started following these 22-year-old guys from the street and letting them push the culture. With everything that comes with the internet, you don't even really have to be a rapper, you just have to be popular. Once we followed that, once the adults followed it, like it's almost like allowing YNs to just take over the White House and just run the country.
I didn't know you had smoke for Mona.
When I got on Love and Hip Hop, I was dating a couple of chicks in Atlanta, and I made sure I cut them off before I even went on there. Because I didn't want nobody to be like, oh, who's he dating? Let's get her here. I'm gonna be single, and I'm gonna just date one girl, and I'm gonna treat her right on TV. You know what I'm saying? Because Stevie's doing the wild shit. Kirk's doing the wild shit. Scrappy doing the wild shit. I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be, you know what? I don't have to do it, and I'm gonna show a different way.
The whole time she's trying to fuck you.
I mean, I wouldn't say the whole time, but I would say after them candles and them babs went into effect, that anger probably shifted into horniness, which I wasn't aiming for her to get horny by me. I was aiming more so for her feelings to change from hatred to sympathetic, maybe compassionate, maybe loving and caring and understanding of the situation, understanding that I'm not an angry Black woman. I'm angry at the circumstances and I just so fucking happen to be Black. Like, and that shit just didn't work out.
So is she still reciting over children's cases and things like that right now?
Yes. Just not my kid's case.
They swept the shit up under the rug.
For the most part, yeah. But see, it's people like me that's not about to let that happen. She know what she did.
Did you get your kids back?
Did I do what?
You got your kids back, right?
No. They switched the judge. We're still actively going to court. This is still an open case.
This is 3 years now that you
and this
not
is still
had
an
your
open
kids.
case. This is so much dirt that this woman has done before. What is it, Judge? I can't pronounce her last name. I mean, her first name starts with an F, but her last name is Rodriguez. Before Rodriguez got on my case, the way that this woman had this case so fucked up, I never expected for this new woman to come on and this was just going to be a closed situation. It could have been that, maybe if she was my judge from the very beginning. But like I said, with the whole derailing of the paperwork and trying to make it seem like I'm crazy because I cursed you the fuck out for valid reasons and stuff like that, like that did a lot with this case.
Do you have other parents that would be willing to talk to me?
Yeah, you know what I do.
Run that by me.
Definitely.
Run that. Because, news pressure is a different type of pressure.
Yes. Yes. And that's what got it to the point where me and my attorneys were able to go to court and she was removed from, I guess, dealing with parents. But that didn't do shit. You're still affecting people's lives, mainly children's lives. And that's a big ass fucking deal. And I can hold accountability for where I was wrong at, the small portion of where I was wrong at. But somebody in that level of power, you're a judge. So that means everything that you're doing is supposed to be done without biasness and without prejudiceness. Meaning that even though we had a discrepancy at the very beginning of our case, you were supposed to sit back, whether it be in your chambers, at home, when you overlooked my case, the whole circumstances, what I had to endure that morning with the SWAT team kicking in my fucking door while I'm cooking breakfast for my family, just everything, and then have to stand before you and pretty much beg and fight for custody of my children back. You know, there should have been some level of not companionship, some
compassion,
some sympathy.
Yeah, she was supposed to overlook and see kind of where the anger was coming from.
Exactly.
Was this at me, or was this at the situation? Is this a frustrated mother? Does she even have children? Is the question.
I have no clue. But instead, that was just taken as okay, you're angry. You're so angry. Maybe the kids are unsafe to be around you. And what the fuck is me being angry with what you're doing has to do with me parenting my kids? You have to make this shit correlate. Never did.
Girl, I would have thought by now this shit would have been open and closed. Who's the new judge is the question too. Why she fucking around?
And I'm thinking that by now they thought that I would have been on crack. I'm understanding that the system is built for us to fucking fail. You want me to break before I get my kids back. That's all this shit is. You can't tell me that after all of these investigations, after everything that already came out about the previous judge, after things that, got disclosed in court outside of family court, why am I still fighting you people?
I need a photo of the judge that's now presiding over your case as well too. I already have Lopez's picture and things like that, and give me the other parents as well.
Most definitely.
Black Twitter, Black X, Black youth, they love stories like this. They love it. Yeah. That is,
one thing that I was told before I paid for my new attorney, which was the breaking point of what made me get like outside representation, is that all of these people are connected, right? And when the SWAT team kicked in my door, like I said, I wasted no time opening up a lawsuit against them. Lawsuit against ACS for placing my kids in danger for reasons that I really can't discuss on, here right now.
Mm-hmm.
But while that was going on, my public defender kept putting pressure on me to drop the cases that I had against the city, which I never understood why she kept on putting pressure on me to do that. And then before I fired her, she was like, well, maybe the judge will go easy on you if you let the cases go, if you drop everything against ACS and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just give me everything. Give me the other parents, and we'll continue this, and we'll continue rolling it out, because, if there's too much news pressure, I'm sure that they'll be forced to have someone higher up to come in and look at these cases. Because I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of times they do, it's like they're trafficking children legally.
Yes. Yes. And sadly, a lot of the
just like they traffic prisoners to jail, they traffic. There are incentives to have so many, like in order for agencies to stay open and stuff like that, like they need a certain amount of children to do that.
Yes. And then the issue that I'm seeing, it's not really an issue, because I almost fell victim to it too, with feeling like, I can't do this shit. I want to give up. The immense amount of pressure that they put on you. And then they stripe you of all your resources. They intentionally try to turn your peers or your family against you and have you like doing this shit on your own. It's really hard. And then I watch a lot of parents give up. Like I watch a lot of people throw in the towel and say, this is too much. I can't. They won. They got it. Start drinking, start smoking, and just never get their fucking kids back. And for a long time, I used to be one of those people to look down on situations like that. And after I'm fighting this shit 3 years in, and I'm somebody who literally I made breakfast one morning and got my motherfucking door kicked in. All right. And I can understand why there were some mothers that just say, yo, this shit is too much. I can't do it no more. You won. You think that you can raise them better? You got it. I'm all I got left. My whole family is gone. My mother's gone. My sister's gone. I don't got a brother. I don't got my older sister I can turn to. All my kids, God is me. If I gotta fight this shit 10 years, I'm gonna do that. But I can understand fully why some people walk the fuck away. It be for your mental health. It do. Because this shit'll break you as a parent.
Do you get to see your children?
Not as much as I should. Not as much as I should.
How often do you get visitation rights with them?
It's sporadic sometimes, and this is the realest shit, because a lot of people don't speak about this. I have a shit agency where a lot of the staff just don't like me. A lot of it has to do with my attitude or with the case itself. They'll derail my visits. It'll be times where I won't see my kids for 3 weeks, a month at a time. And then we'll go to court. And then it'll be because the judge will demand for me to get my visitation. But when you have people who are in control of your kid's life, if they get to show up, if they're going to produce them, if they're going to bring them, that shit is all in their hands. I don't have control of that. So I know I'm set to have a certain amount of visits throughout the week with my kids. But if the agency doesn't want to comply, it's not the same repercussions as if I don't want to comply. So it's like, if I don't want to do something that the judge, court orders, I just lose out on my fucking kids. If they feel like they don't want to bring my kids to a visitation so they can spend time with their mother, they just go to court and be like, well, we couldn't. There wasn't transportation. There's nothing we can do about it.
How old are your kids now?
11 and one turning 6 in December.
Damn. What about their fathers? They can't help with getting them back?
The one father that doesn't really know business helping or trying to be on the case is the one, and I guess it's being done to spite me, but that has its own ACS history with it. So I wouldn't even understand why would they allow it, but they are. And the other father, I would, the real shit about that, because our relationship didn't work out. I'm not even about to sugarcoat it with you. Our relationship failed miserably. It was fucked up. And because we don't have dealings with each other, he's choosing now not to do anything for his daughter. So even though he's a non-respondent on the case, which I hope that if he's watching this shit, you can understand the severity of what the fuck you're doing. As a non-respondent on the case, he has a lot of more leeway than I do. And he could petition to get custody of his daughter and my oldest daughter, but because of our falling in the system.
I'm so sorry. I feel helpless for you. I hope our platform, like I said, if you give me enough parents, the agencies, the judges, the lawyers, we could put it together and keep rolling it until it makes enough noise and actions start being taken. Because, there are kids that really need to be in the system for protection. And then you got some that they're what they call legal trafficking, because agencies can't stay in business if they aren't getting paid by the state to house kids. So the more kids they have, that's the more currency they have. Where can people find you, follow you, reach out to you if they've had the same issue done to actually, help with your case and stuff?
So there's but so much I can offer as far as in terms of help. And I'm going to be so real, even to the people that did reach out to me, it's me literally still reaching out to other people, trying to get, maybe a petition signed, maybe a class action or whatever, because I'm already in the process of doing everything individually. But Yeah, my email is SydneySutherlandWorks@gmail.com. So it's SidneySutherlandWorks@gmail.com.
Okay.
My TikTok, I don't know if you want to link it below in the video. I really don't even
Absolutely.
remember my TikTok name. My Instagram, Sidney Sutherland, I believe it is, or that's my Facebook. But in terms of providing legal help, I'm not a legal aid. I'm not a paralegal. But questions, I don't mind answering any. Um, Feel free to reach out. But yeah,
Okay.
I don't think that I can provide too much legal help because I'm not a lawyer or anything like that. But I think
No,
power
I'm
is
just
in
saying,
numbers.
like, maybe they would want to join in and you guys get a class action suit going.
Yeah, that'll
You
be.
know, you just never know. Or it may be lawyers that may want to take on this case. You just never know. But like the more information that I have, the more people that I have to come talk about these particular people, will put political pressure on them to, you know, do what's right because they don't like when things start to get noisy. They
Yeah,
don't.
and like who knows what else was done, as far as I mean, the people that did reach out to me, the horror stories that came with this judge specifically was kind of like fucked up. And most of them ended with, people never getting custody of their kids back or just saying, you know what, fuck it, it was too much pressure. She wanted me to do too much and bailed out of the situation. I don't know how many other people she tried to sleep with or how many other people where she derailed their case process and got rid of evidence and shit like that. So if you reach out to me, I don't mind.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I was not ready for the details that you had given me. Like I said, we're gonna insert the clip at the end of this segment so they can watch me talking about it. And when I tell you, I read that motherfucking judge down. I'm
I
telling you, I read
appreciate
her
that.
down.
She
I
needed
did,
that.
and I was just shocked at like how that didn't just especially with urban media, how they just kind of glanced over that.
Too
I
much
don't know.
power, and her supervisor is a lesbian. I did my digging, and if she wanted me to come lick her Uchi Wally, then I'm pretty sure they didn't bumped Uchi Wallies before in the past. And so, like I said, people having a position of power, who they know and what they're willing to do. I, I wasn't expecting for her to even get. I didn't think that she was going to get recused. I thought that that was overhyped itself because there wasn't enough airplay about the situation. But I am happy that she's off my fucking case.
Mm. All right. Well, listen, thank you so much, Ms. Sutherland. I'm glad we got full context. I'm going to be interviewing anybody and everybody that I can to try to bring awareness to this, and let's see what we can help do on our end.
Sure, I'll send you over to people that did reach out to me, and I also emailed your staff the picture of the new judge.
Yep, we just got them. So we're going to insert everything into this video so that people can know and that you're just not just talking. Because you know how judges are. They need receipts. So we got the receipts. Would you like to see
Facts.
the receipts? So,
And
but
all the parents that are going through this, like I said, I know this shit gets hard. I know they do put pressure on you and want you to give up and stop fighting. Stay diligent. Do whatever the fuck they're asking you to do it before they ask you to do it. Like, when it comes to your kids, don't play about your lineage the same way that you lay down and busted open and brought them here. Fight for them.
well, listen, thank you so much. And again, I'm going to be praying for you, and we're here to help, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Now we got to go. Bye. Shout out to Jazzy Faye. Now this bitch is a New York judge. She's supposed to be judging family court, child support orders and shit, So she gets a bitch in her courtroom. This recent. Now, New York Post posted this. I be on top of every goddamn thing. I said, why they ain't made this news? They always talking about motherfuckers in Florida. Why they ain't talking about New York? So when this story came out, I could look at the bitch because I went to school with bitches that look like this and tell this bitch like to get into some shit. You can tell by her hair, it's jet black. It's the bob, the black eyeliner, the black lipstick. She ain't got no bra on under that robe. But I ain't got no panties on. But she was elected by the people. So one of the plaintiffs in there recognized the judge from her DM on a Threesome website. Oh yeah. Woo. Yeah, I found this shit. Oh, that chick. She trying to argue with her baby daddy, trying to get a higher fucking child support amount, and she's like, oh, I know this bitch. Like, for real, she in my DM. On the Threesome website. Now, apparently, see, the judge, she's looking for couples to participate with. Like I said, I grew up with these bitches. I went to school with these bitches. These were the first dykes that I ran into in school. They was in a group. They had on all black. Black hair, black lipstick, black eyeliner, black ripped jeans, dirty white dingy panties, half shirts. Yeah, they had one skinny motherfucker that happened to be a man that rolled with him, and we didn't know if he was gay or straight. We just know he got lucky whenever they got fucked up. They was doing drugs together and Ouija boards too. Oh yeah, you ain't never seen them bitches in high school? You gotta be from the 90s to run into these bitches. So I looked at her, I said, yeah, I know. Yeah. So she gotta play it safe. So you would think, right, me, I run into a bitch like this, she in my DM, I'm a work it. I need this child support, I need $1,000 a month. This nigga talking about all he can do is $280, I need about $1,000. What you need? Okay, I got you. Now, she goes and makes a complaint to the court. Now, the court couldn't find a judge because the judge wasn't selling pussy. She was giving it away. She's a judge. Everybody knows that selling pussy is illegal. But the fact is, it's like they can't judge her and what she do in her personal life. But I'm like, a goddamn judge can't even be a judge in peace no more, bitch. Thanks to social media. So she got moved to another court. And the girl right now still fighting for child support. So see, these bitches, you wasn't even supposed to involve us. You were supposed to use your whole face to your advantage. What you doing on the website anyway? How you know the judge is there? Shouldn't have been your ass round now. Don't forget, today we are offering on shoptkdeals.com the sea moss drops. This is something that everybody needs to have in their diet. It has 98% of the vitamins and minerals that the body needs daily. We have this in mango. We also have it in pineapple. It has 10,000 milligrams of Irish sea moss, the same sea moss that Dr. Sebi preached about, and the same sea moss that a lot of the health gurus preach about as well. It also has spirulina, which is very potent in vitamins and minerals as well. It has zinc, burdock root, and vitamin C, okay? Use the coupon code TK10 to get your sea moss drops. This is our mushroom Vitamix, okay? The T-cell, NK cell Vitamix, very potent. The reviews on the website say everything. This is used to help optimize T cells, to help optimize natural killer cells, which kill off cancer cells in the body and things like that. It's been used in a ton of therapy. It's been in Chinese medicine for years, and people are raving about this. All you got to do is Google shiitake mushrooms. This is shiitake mushrooms along with turkey tail, some lion's mane, some cordyceps, all blended down. You can either cook with it, you can put it in your smoothies, you can drink it in water. Either way, you need this about twice a week. And if you're not down with the powder, we do have the gummies, all right, which has all of that in there. Shiitake mushrooms. It also has the reishi mushroom, has the chaga, it has the white button. And so all of this is condensed down into the mushroom extract complex. And also we have the mushroom 10X, okay? That's available as well on shoptkdeals.com. Use the coupon code TK10 to get 10% off of your first order. Don't forget, guys, we are featuring the Koji Cocoa Soap. This is something that I use to help even my skin tone, clear dark marks and things like that. This is available on shoptkdeals.com. Use the coupon code TK10, okay? Be careful about using it on your face. Yes, it will lighten the dark marks, but it will lighten your face as well, and you don't want to be out here looking like Nene Leaks, okay? This is the Koji Cocoa Soap. We have the sugar case. I am so in love with the body oils, and you guys are too, because you're emailing me about them. These are body oils infused with like glazed donut fragrances. We also have watermelon squeeze. We have, let me put this up. We have the watermelon squeeze. We also have the Georgia peach body oil, okay? I usually put these on when I get out of the shower, wet, let them soak into the skin while the pores are open. And then, of course, I carry a bottle around to touch up. It doesn't leak. And that's one thing that I like about this Black-owned body oil company is that they don't leak all in your purse. I could travel with these. They don't spill. I don't know where the hell she got these bottles from or the oils, but she's doing her thing. You can access the sugar case on my website. Use the coupon code TK10 to get 10% off your first order. And last but not least, we have our top seller, which are the Active 8 fasting drops. If you are really trying to fast, if you are really trying to suppress your appetite, the right way, the Active 8 fasting drops is the way that you need to go. The reviews on the website speak for themselves. If you're looking for appetite suppression, which means you have to start first thing in the morning, okay? And you put the drops in your body, you put a little water in your body, and you just do a water fast throughout the day. People are emailing me saying, hey, Tasha, they work better than any type of Ozempic or semaglutide that's out there. It just helps to settle the gas in the stomach, and the stomach tells the brain that you're not hungry no more, okay? And so the fasting drops are available on shoptkdeals.com. Use the coupon code TK10 and let me know how much weight you've lost personally.